Hello everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to yet another band review. This time around, we're going to take a closer look at the myriad of new colors we got for the OG Sport Band line. This season, we have 8 new colors, the most of any style, I believe. The Sport Band takes us back all the way to the beginning when the first Apple Watch was initially released. And so needless to say, I have grown really fond of this style of band. If this is your first time purchasing your first extra band for your Apple Watch, or you are a seasoned bandaholic like me, buckle up because we're going to take a dive in and take a look at every new sport band released under different lighting, model them on the wrist, as well as pair them together with my favorite combinations on the different casing materials and colors. But before I start, 2 things. Number 1, if you want to see all the other colors and styles reviewed for this new fall batch, make sure to head over to the video description or click the card on the top right to get that playlist cranking. And then number 2, if you want to win one of these all new sport bands for yourself, make sure to stick around until the end of the video for instructions on how you can be the lucky winner. Okay, that should be everything, and without further ado, let's begin. So listen, we're not going to waste much time as most of us have either seen or owned this band style. It's a classic and works as intended. With the clean pin and tuck closure, the band is always secured on the wrist even while performing physical activity, hence the name Sport Band. Alright, first off, to start us off right, we take a look at Starlight. Now, it's a shame the new Apple Watches aren't out yet, as this Starlight color is meant to low-key replace the typical band that comes bundled with your standard silver aluminum Apple Watch. Normally it's paired up with a pretty light band, typically white, and it's no different this time. Thing about Starlight is at times it looks white and other times there's a soft eggshell undertone mixed in with a very small touch of a light beige in there. Almost like some beige tones mixed in there, but it's very subtle. Here it is right next to the white Sport Band. As you can see, when right next to it, you can imagine this Starlight having a very soft hint of tan in there, but still mostly appears white in most instances. By the way, I will be buying every single new Apple Watch Series 7. You heard that right, including the 5 new colors on the aluminum Series 7s. So whenever those videos drop, you'll be able to see this Starlight paired with the all-new Starlight aluminum watch. I don't think you can go wrong with this one. It's a really subtle color that pairs well with just about any casing material or color. Up next, we have English Lavender, a color that has received a ton of praise, and it seems the Apple Watch band community, for the most part, is really digging this color. You see, Apple rarely does purples, so when they release a purple band, it's sort of a big deal. English Lavender is such a calming fall color and I love it. It's nowhere close to being a bright band and instead at times has some pastel elements with a very small dosage of blues in there. Actually very similar to mixing in maybe 10% of the new Sierra Blue color Apple has on the new iPhones with a nice and calming lavender that just makes for a gorgeous band that looks great on any color. This color is also featured on the braided Solo line, but has a slightly grayer tone on the Sport Band. I assume this has to do with the fact that the Sport Band is fluoroelastomer, while the braided is interwoven yarn, but the grayish tone is very, and I mean minutely subtle. In any case, a stellar band and gets a solid 9 out of 10 for me. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the deeply fierce product red Sport Band. If you want to feel some deep romantic passion while on a date, or simply enjoy the ferocity of red, then ladies and gents, look no further than the product red Sport Band. It might come as a surprise to some, but yes, this product red is in fact different from the previous product red. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the 5th generation product red and has a deeper and richer red undertone than the previous one. I actually have the 4th gen product red here on the left and the new 2021 product red on the right. As you can see, the new gen product red is deeper, richer, and not as orangish. I always felt the previous product red was a bit on the bright side with slight hues of oranges and pinks in there. Well, not on this one. It's very in your face and obviously pairs spectacularly with the product product red aluminum Apple Watch. Here to meet us for our halfway point is Marigold, the bright and energetic band of the bunch. If you remember Papaya from earlier seasons, this Marigold is pretty much in the same ballpark as that band. If you can imagine a papaya in your head and now infuse that papaya with the saturation turned down slightly to give it a more pastel-y look and throw in a 5% hint of yellow in there, and boom, you have Marigold. Named after the flower, marigolds are beautiful flowers with very vibrant oranges and very bright yellows. If bright bands are up your alley, this one will not disappoint and in my opinion, pairs well with the gold stainless steel Apple Watch. I'm surprised there aren't as many bright bands like Marigold in this batch, but then again, we are looking at the fall release. And typically with the fall season, we can expect toned down colors that are calmer to prepare us for all of the fall festivities, including leaves changing colors, shorter days, and colder temperatures. A color I really enjoy that's both calming, dark, and low-key is Abyss Blue. Man, this color has slowly grown on me, and it is now up there as one of my favorites, and that's quite rare as normally blues aren't my favorites when it comes to Apple Watch bands. I feel Abyss Blue is a very mysterious color. Sometimes it looks like a dark navy, other times it looks like it could have elements of green thrown in there, and other times it looks like it just disappears into the darkness. That's why I love showcasing these bands under different lighting. Outside or under direct lighting, the blue comes off the wrist rather easy and isn't too distracting. Pair it up with darker colored casing materials like space black titanium or the space gray aluminum version, and you are in for a treat. The darker color combination plays off really well against the darker casing colors, but surprisingly also appears to jolt out at you on lighter colors like the silver aluminum. Do me a favor and do not sleep on Abyss Blue, especially if you have the blue aluminum Apple Watch. Kinda mandatory to pick this one up and slap it on that sexy blue Apple Watch. We now move over to Dark Cherry, and believe me when I say you will be extremely fascinated by this color. It sort of reminds me of Plum from previous releases, but instead, Dark Cherry has its own unique set of characteristics that sets it apart from your standard purpley wine colors. Here it is against Plum, and as you can see, Plum definitely looks like your standard wine color. Think a red Riscato. Dark Cherry, however, says, hey man, take a chill pill and tones down the intensity to create a much more soothing and darker effect. I think it's brilliant. Dark Cherry still, with its grayer and darker features, still has enough purple in it that in direct sunlight will make you feel like royalty, a total king or queen. Once again, Dark Cherry looks amazing on the gold stainless steel for me, but really you can't go wrong with this one. A 10 out of 10 band in my opinion that I'm sure will be a fan favorite. Almost rounding us out for this video is the Clover Sport Band. I don't know what Apple is on, but this is weird. Not only are purple releases rare, but so are greens, and normally with greens, they're very dark, almost army greens. Think pine green. Apple hit us with that yeet and instead decided to give us St. Patrick's Day vibes, as you cannot tell me this band doesn't resemble the luck of the Irish green. When you think about a lucky four-leaf clover, you can imagine what luck you'll feel to be blessed with such a gorgeous green on the wrist. What I love about this green is it's not screaming in your face for attention and yet has enough vividness to it to set it apart from most greens Apple has released. If anything, I think this clover is as close to a proper green than we have ever seen before from Apple. Obviously, this band was released to pair up perfectly against the new green aluminum Apple Watch, which again will be reviewed on my channel, so make sure to turn on your bell notifications right now. And last but not least, we have Midnight, the only band out of the 8 that actually has a space gray pin. All other 7 have a silver pin. This is because, just like Starlight, this band aims to replace the typical black band just about everyone else has to low-key give you that extra push of uniqueness. That way you can slightly stand out from the crowd and still have a very dark and muted band, but still be distinct from the sea of typical black sport bands. Actually, here is the typical black sport band Apple has had for several generations now, and here's Midnight on the right. As you can see, it's faint, but Midnight features elements of dark blues and navies, but is still predominantly black and looks black under low-lit environments. From the pictures I've seen on Apple's website, the Midnight aluminum watch also looks to have that slightly bluish tint to it, so again, can't wait to get that one in to pair it up with this. I personally dig that Apple is slightly adding some dash of colors to their standard white, silver, and black space gray combinations. Midnight is so low-key that for the most part, most people will assume it's black, but you know it's not black, it's Midnight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you yet again for joining me for another batch of Apple Watch band releases. The sport bands are some of my favorites and compose the biggest percentage of bands featured on my infamous band wall. What do you guys think though? Of the 8 colors, which one stood out the most to you? I'm not going to list all 8 bands, but if I had to rank at least my top 3, they'd be Clover in 3rd, Marigold in 2nd, and of course, Dark Cherry for me in 1st place. And before we close out again, if you're used to my band giveaways, you'll know rule number 1 is to subscribe to my channel with bell notifications to always be in the loop on all the most recent Apple Watch band drops. Number 2, go ahead and give me a follow on my socials, as that is where I will announce all the winners on Halloween, Sunday, October 31st. Time to be announced. I've also been told I should post more on TikTok, so also make sure to follow me on there as I will try to post more regularly. And finally, simply drop a comment down below letting me know which was your first ever Apple Watch. Mine was the Silver Aluminum Series 2. Yep, I've been on the Apple Watch band hype for quite a while now. I truly hope these videos help you guys decide which band is the right one for you, as Apple's lighting on their website at times is a bit deceiving. Anyways guys, drop a like to help out this video reach more eyes, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Peace.